My Gavanen Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Arakir Galadurthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as we continue on as Canned this week. And things are going rather well in our Canned campaign, where there's no threat of death, and I'm hoping that we just get into the meat of it with Mordor and the Khazad-dum. You may recall in the last episode that we won some wonderful victories over Mordor again, using the might of our cavalry. And we have a large army under our Khan, Yiltig, besieging Imnad Khanan. And we've also sent some troops under Warlord Orush out to try and really start hammering these final nails in. We now know categorically that Harad, our hated and long-standing enemy, have only 3 provinces remaining. Taj, Tal al-Jaf, Amun Aithel, and then that one, which is Tir Ethraid. And which does mean, though, that the next town that they lose will probably spawn their last stand army. So we're probably going to be up against it in a short while, which is a bit disappointing. But we'll take it as it comes, I suppose, and see what we can do. Now, Imnad Khanan I could attack. And people always bang on to me about, oh, it's way better to attack it because the upkeep you're losing from your army it will be negated partly by the income you get from the town. Blah, 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 blah. But personally, I've always felt that having extra troops is more important than simply taking a town for speed and for the financial gain. Because of course, if I take Imnad Khanan, yes, I will get the money from Imnad Khanan, and I shall also get the money from the loss of my own forces. I will be paying less of my troops because some of them inevitably will die. And so my money would go up. But I need the troops. I value the troops more than the money in this instance. So, oh, yes, please. So I am going to besiege it out to the end. Now, interestingly there, Orashur has rebelled against us, and despite the significant Men of the East culture, it has not joined Harad.
How may I serve?
Which I find absolutely fascinating. So we can quite easily, really, just reclaim it. I mean, there's nothing stopping us. We've actually got some money, which is most unlike us. Is there anything else you can retrain? Yes, I'll take those. And can you? You're building something. That'll do for now. Then we need someone to go over and take that back, really. Oh, Amun Aithel. Warlord Sufyan, faction heir. He's got some pikemen. He's got quite some good forces, actually. Warlord Orush, the champion. Despite having some good forces, I'm not sure. Well, we'll give it a go.
We close for battle.
What the damned bloody hell? Let's give it a damn good try. Our forces are almost there. Perfect. Then you fellows, you're gonna come and take Orashur.
How may I serve?
After the humiliating defeat over the Khazad-dum at the Battle of whatever this bridge we want to name, then they haven't come back. They've had their starters and they don't want any afters by the looks of it. Oh, and Thaurband has betrayed us. Well, that didn't pop up in the message. Maybe it did and I didn't notice. It must have done and I didn't notice.
Our enemies will suffer.
Oh, that's disappointing. But the Mordor forces are weak and very pathetic, so Tolui,
Your enemies shall fall.
go and besiege it, force them to attack you,
Sieging the walls.
and we'll just burn them all down. Mordor come again with Thuk. I'm sure I'm getting some troops in. Ah, yes, look at the sizable army we've built in Ibamari.
How may I
Right,
serve?
the cavalry will go first because it's quicker
How may I serve?
and is much
We move.
more useful at
We rest
defeating
here until dawn.
Mordor, and then the ground forces
How may
you
I
follow
serve?
and follow after
The
to
sunset on today's
garrison the town. Now we can get the dwarves too, but we should probably turn this money into something that's going to get us more money rather than more Orakani units. Oh, there's 2 more dwarves coming from Amukand as well. Yes, that's good. Somewhere must be able to build a mine, surely. Kislkum, what can you offer me? Mining network there, 400, 150, 650 in total. It would be about 9 turns till it pays itself off. Let's save up and get that. I don't think we need the money or the troops from elsewhere. Captain Mamdou, I don't want you to be involved, actually. You're going to be the garrison. And Captain Tokhtoa, interesting name. Oh, you can't make it to Finderbell. That's where I'd like you to go, really. Return to Port Arkish, see if you can retrain. No, you can't. You're cavalry, aren't you?
How may
Yes.
I serve?
Go all the way back to... Ah, Krokmaher, you're building our army, aren't you? Oh, I'm so tempted to train more of those forces.
Orders.
Oh, look, you've got such a good army
How may
here.
I serve? Orders.
Can I train a cheap unit? Yeah, go on, chuck one of them in. And then we'll take the lot. 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns, 2 turns. Everything is 2 turns, damn it. But in 1 turn we'll have more forces. But let's send the infantry out now, because they, again, take longer to get there, don't they?
We march.
But you guys go now. How much money are we actually making? We're not. We are losing money. So we will not be able to build the mines in Khazad-dum that I've just put there. Which is good to know. Good to know. But I think we can end the turn and plough on, see what happens. Only 2 turns for Medkana now. We'll be attacked in Talwath, so we'll have to defend there. And our general may well pull off the most amazing victory and secure naming rights over the castle of... Oh, we can only hope. But otherwise, yeah, that's an end turn. I am now seeking, mostly because at the moment it's the summer holidays in the United Kingdom. And I should start that again. It's the summer holidays in the United Kingdom at the moment, which means our schools are closed. And here in the UK, for the summer, our schools only close for 6 weeks. Some close for 8, some close for 7, and mostly the latter of those are private schools. So if you pay for your education directly with a private school, then you normally get more holiday than the state schools, which is what I went to, a state school. And but anyway, the moral of this story is that there is now no traffic on the roads. It's absolutely amazing how many people drive their children to school here. It's a bit of a shame, really. But there we are. I mean, I appreciate sometimes you can't not drive your children to school, but in a lot of cases you think, oh, come on. They could probably do a little bit of the journey on their own. Although, I mean, I didn't have the hardest possible time when I attended school way back. Unfortunately, some time ago now, I walked to school and I lived about 1-ish miles away, just over. It took about 20 to 25 minutes to walk to school. And I did, every day, rain or shine. I never got a lift, not until I learned to drive myself. But anyway, I'm tangential. The reason I say that is because there's no traffic on the roads, and it means I can get to work by leaving a lot later than I could before. And so I'm taking the opportunity, and I'm hoping to cement it as a habit, to do these recordings before I go to work, rather than after. So last time I did this recording early, I think I sounded a lot worse than I do this time. But it was made. The comment was made, of course, that my voice was a little different, and so it probably will be in definitely all the DaC videos for the next month, if not forever, because this is a perfect time to do these recordings, because I wake up at this time anyway, and it's just wasted time, really. I mean, who really wants to get to work half an hour early when you've not really got enough to merit being at work half an hour early? Because I certainly don't. So it's an ideal time to record. So I'm hoping to do the DaC and. Whilst we're continuing with Warhammer, which won't be very much longer, as I say, I think there's probably only about 9 more episodes of that tops. Then I'm going to hopefully do those in the morning as well. Unfortunately, there's not enough time in the morning to do a Skyrim video, but certainly these ones can be done now. How many did you lose? Probably a few too many. I'm a little concerned, if I'm honest, that the reinforcing army is actually going to be too much here. Tolui does have arrows, and he is a fine gentleman, but we're up against spears. No matter how crappy these spears might be, they are still spears. I tell you what, actually, the enemy over there is probably grouped up. So why don't we head over there and... Oh, no, they're not grouped up. Damn. I was really hoping they would be. Well, I suppose we can always just kill as many as we can and then flee when the times get a bit tough, can't we? They will, of course, heal some of their units, which would be a damned shame, but get as many as you can. More. Only 13%. We've lost one of our men is 5% of our army. Of course, because there's 20 of us. We really wanted them to group up, but they've not done that. Alright, here we go then.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Oh, we lost 2 in that one.
Pray they lose their will to fight.
And they always do this wide formation, which means you don't actually get a particularly good charge on them. We really do want them to group up, though. That's what I'm hoping for. And so that we can get a real solid punch into
Our
them.
army is tiring.
Yes, I know. Right, there we are. And the same again. This is going to be the only way that we're going to be able to win it, if we can get them all in one big solid lump and just keep hitting them.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Right, we need them. We need to get this number here, which doesn't now seem to be getting involved, which just is a bit disappointing, isn't it? Come on. Right, should give that a try. Oh no, they separated just at the last moment there. Although that was so... It's like watching a sledgehammer crack a nut. It's amazing. We might be alright. We might be alright. Oh, turn for me, Mordor. Turn for me. Come on. I know you've got it in you. Right, end that one. Yep, there we are. That's them going. I think we might have this, actually. Unfortunately, that unit is still in this horrible wide formation, so we get very little from our charge. Let's go deal with the big one, then.
Battle appears to be victory as well.
They're routing! They're routing! You morons!
See this and lose
No,
heart.
come on, don't get trapped with the ones that are still fighting. Capture as many of these as you can. Oh, come on, Canned. Because they'll only come back and fight us, but the ones that we can capture now... Why are you being so difficult about this? Just hit them with your sword! Goodness gracious.
4 fights with horns made of clay. We are winning the battle.
Alright, this should... Perfectly nice split.
Enemy
Yes!
fought us like humans cursed the day they were born.
Tolui! Masterful. Absolutely masterful. Mordor are repeatedly giving way to these grand losses and allowing us such heroic victories, and for that I am eternally grateful. Very, very grateful indeed. I'm disappointed that Thaurband abandoned us, though. I mean, we had 30 men there. Perhaps last time we sacked it, and this time we'll need to wipe them all out. Yes. The enemy cannot rise up against you when there's only 400 people, or whatever it is, 200, 300 people, something like that. Can't remember the lowest number it will go to when you exterminate. I think it is 400, but I could be wrong. Oh, we got 5,000 there. I thought we were losing money. Fine Abel Builders Nomadic Gathering Grounds, so we can retrain 2 of our units. That's not very many at all, is it? And I'll tell you what we should probably do, because this is one of those classic situations now. All of my best units, my best ground units, i.e. the dwarves, all come from Alaz-Azrest, Amukhand, Oibamari, and that is it. Meaning that to get my finest units to the field, I've got to constantly build them miles away and ship them over.
The sun sets on today's journey.
And as you might imagine, that is a bit of a pain.
How may I serve? We march.
And
Orders.
so what I really want to be able to do... Yeah, we'll build that. Let's start making that happen. I think what we should do is allow the Orokani clan hall... Personally, I will discuss it with the team. I don't make too many unilateral decisions. I think it might be an idea to have the hall buildable in X capitals of at least the most immediate nations. So Arad and Ayim, Harad, Mordor, maybe Gondor and Dol Amroth as well. But then leaving it at that. Oh, I suppose you could probably say Dorwinion and Rune as well, because they're geographically close. And of course, you can attack Rune. I have at the moment I'm not attacking Rune because they haven't attacked me, and so it's nice to not have an enemy to worry about. But you can attack Rune. That is entirely within your wheelhouse.
How may I serve?
Ah, our cavalry is ready. You men, to the bridge. Toot sweet.
Yes.
Join up with our generals who are beginning the siege of Urashur.
Tomorrow's journey.
How may I? Orders.
Ah, and there's a third general coming, Calf the Just. We'll get you out of the
How
south.
may I serve? Orders.
That's probably too many, really. Is it actually... It's happy with just 2. It is happy with just 2. Oh, and you can be retrained. Well done. I'm assuming armor upgrades, so we'll allow it.
How may I serve?
So you 3, why don't you come to Orishur as well, actually? You can be the garrison once you arrive. Well done, mate. Amenithal isn't attacking us. They've got 4 more turns, so that means their men are dying, which is always helpful for us. Although Harad have crossed the river and disappeared, so there's an army somewhere around here. Oh, yes, indeed, there it is. Right, he's going to smash us, so why don't you pull back?
Yes. Moving away from the enemy wall.
Yeah, there's no point losing. We also don't really want them to drop to 3 until we've probably got a sizable force in Finabel, because that is where the garrison will spawn. Right, and then our final thing to do,
I'm gonna stick you.
because we do not want to get caught out. Now, he's only 3 turns away, and he brings a shed load of cavalry. So I'm thinking, why don't... we'll lose our refuge. Let's just not build that then, because we're going to lose that. In terms of holding on to our forces, I don't want to outright attack the Mordor general just yet. Because despite... we might win, but we could also, of course, lose. He might have better forces we can't see at the moment.
Your win. I'm gonna stick
Sauron's will. 2 units of maulers. He's got 2 halberds. I would rather just simply give them the town and wait the 3 turns for Captain Gizik to arrive. So we'll pull back towards Gizik.
By your will. Resting here.
And as I said, we'll just give it up to them. That's not a problem. Yes. Oh, in fact, we could give it up without...
What lies do you bring us?
Oh, they really don't like us, do they? I want your map info if I'm going to do this, though. And I can give you that region back, but I'm going to attack you straight away after. People won't like us very much for this, but oh well. What are you saying? Oh, actually, you can't have my map information. And I'd like a little bit of money. Give me 1,000. And they've accepted.
We have no complaints. Goodbye. We look forward to our next meeting.
Cirith Ungol Reach, Black Gate Reach, the Last Alliance, the Sight of Reach, Minas Tirith Reach, Barad-dûr Reach, Mount Doom Reach, the Falls of Ralros are held by Mordor. Goodness gracious. Amun-Hen is held by Mordor. The Dead Marshes. Could they have expanded any further out? Blimey. Do they have that one really? Tirith Anduin is held by... My voice is so funny in the mornings. How is Tirith Anduin held by Mordor? That's so far away. So clearly, with me coming... don't say that. With me attacking from their rear side, they are clearly scampering away up the river. Nice to see Gondor holding at the Anduin, though. That's very tasty. Tasty? That's an odd word to describe that. That's very fortunate to see. But right, there we are. That should hopefully either Luke will now head south and we'll see him because of all these towers, or he'll just bugger off back to Barad-dûr and we'll sneak in and take Dodochi back. Thalband is going to be renamed Tolui for his great victory. We'll call it Tolui Gate, even though it is not a gate. I like naming gates on things. I like calling things gates. It's a preferred naming convention of mine. It hasn't really been seen yet, actually. But, right, there we are. We're in end turn now. Imlad Khan may well now... Oh, you absolute moron. You just caused a sea fire. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Sometimes I impress myself with my stupidity. Oh. Right, I tell you what. That Mordor army isn't very good. No general to speak of. Warlord Orash is relatively good. And why don't you forces head up there? You guys head up there. Khan Yiltig, you move across and... No, come down to Amenithal and cut Harad in half. So Warlord Orash, you head up to the north. Take that guy with you. You might as well take them with you as well, actually. You might be able to merge with some of them. No. We'll take them back and retrain them. And... I'm not going to bother with the cavalry, actually, because the generals, the 3 generals, will easily take Orishur. So Captain Babach as well. All of you move up north. You're going to take Imlad Khanan. And if you can train some more forces, I would take that. Even if they're the weak, trashy forces. There we are. Now, speaking of naming convention and talking, as ever, of a totally different game, I have been playing Stellaris so much this week. Absolutely loving it. I'm very grateful to my friend Xander for introducing me to it. I've owned it for about 3 years, 2-3 years, and never played it. But now I'm able to, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would certainly say, just while the turn is ticking past, that if you've played Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, and like me, you've I mean, I have every achievement on Sins of the Solar Empire, showing you how much I've played it. I've got something like 500, 600, 700 hours, something around that area. Rookie numbers for the die-hard, really, but substantial numbers for a casual. And
Our enemies
I have all the achievements. I know everything that I'm doing in Sins. Every single time I play it is the same, and you're looking for something a bit different. And the thing that Sins, I've always felt, doesn't do very well and is lacking is the empire management once you get to a large enough size. Once you get big enough and you no longer need any more of the research stations and you don't need any more money, really. You've got money coming out your ears. And particularly when you get to the point that no fleet would be able to stop you. The game literally just becomes a rolling kind of production line of capturing enemy towns. So you just take a town, there's no resistance. You take the next town, there's no resistance, or a planet, sorry. And you just continue with this theme indefinitely. Let's wait till Calf gets there, so we'll attack that on the next turn. And because, of course, because then Sins has no empire management. As I say, once you have that large empire, you have no need, really, to manually fiddle with any planet. You don't even really need the planets. They are just extra money on top of your massive supply of money. And you can't do much to the planets. So having thousands and thousands and thousands of credits means that as soon as I have captured a planet in Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion, and it's the later game, I can immediately get it to full production and move on to the next planet and leave it. It takes about 5 seconds, and that is all I had to do. The reason I think, therefore, Stellaris has an edge is whilst its combat is a little less involved, it has to be said. You can't decide which ship they should attack. You can't manually tell ships to retreat or anything like that. Once the battle is engaged, it's basically who has more and better forces. But it does come down to who has better forces. Time and again, I have beaten an AI army that is larger than mine, purely because I am more sophisticated, or not sophisticated, but my army is technologically better than theirs.
None of them shall escape us.
We'll take him out because he looks like he's on a path for some vengeance now. So Stellaris does have some tactical gameplay to its combat, but nowhere near as much as Sins does. So Sins has got that against it. But Stellaris has absolutely fantastic galactic spanning empire management, and that is what I am absolutely digging at the moment. Recently, for example, I'm heading for an achievement that is to purge the entire galaxy of every species bar my own. And the logistical nightmare I had when I started kicking out some 500 non-human xenofilth was, I found terribly enjoyable. I suddenly lost all my money, all of my planets were hemorrhaging money, and because I still had to pay for some of these people I was demanding to leave, but I couldn't bring myself to execute them because I'm like that. Despite how gleefully I execute people in this game, in Stellaris, I felt a little bit more of a connection to some of these, some of the filth, and so I only pushed them out slowly. Right, on the next turn, we will attack Mordor again, so short-lived piece, but it was worth it. Oh, we're losing money, that's disappointing. But then don't we get a lot of money from Dodici? We need to rename Dodici, really. I don't really like the name. We can find some other way to call it 12 without it being Italian. A bit of an odd naming choice, I grant you. Anyway, some apologies for the tangent into Stellaris, but the moral of the story was just that if there is one of you out there that plays Sins of a Solar Empire and is thinking, yeah, Sins has kind of had its day, and gets fed up with the fact that Sins crashes when there's too much on the screen because it can only use 2 GB of RAM, then I would say definitely check out Stellaris. Captain Balkmugan brings absolutely nothing to the table, and in glorious victory to end the episode, we will crush the defenders of Arashur and take it for our own. But then we've got a nice fight against the Ardanaim coming up.
For the moment, pray we can seduce fortune back to our side.
Right, I tell you what we might try for is... Oh, you did a pathetic charge there. Absolutely pathetic. Shut down these bandits, though. One of you guys was able to kill 1,000 orcs and not 2 turns ago. Now 3 of you can hardly even manage some bloody bandits. Do not tell me that was mine. Oh my goodness, you just died against bandits. How have you managed that? Oh, I should stop playing in ×6, but that makes no odds. It's like almost a dice roll. Will my general die charging this absolutely non-unit? Shahryar the Wrathful, can't remember which one he is. Well, it's a bit of more money retained,
Only
isn't
half
it?
the enemy force remains. We must pray they lose their will to fight.
I can't believe that's just happened. He was so successful against the Ardenaim and Harad in the south, and then to die against
The battle appears to be
pathetic
running in our
bandits.
favor. From good tidings such as these, does victory spring forth.
I'm just astounded. I'm not too bothered about them fighting in melee because Woodland Hunters are one of the worst units in this game when it comes to melee. But it's basically over because we are just now shooting the men of Arundel who... Oh no, it's just the bandits. They're wavering.
The enemy general flees like an have cut off the serpent's head.
Oh, arrow to the chest.
Enemy general is slain. Let's see how these snakes fight without their head.
Right, unfortunately we don't have any way of opening that door, so we need whoever is feeling... Ah, they're on their way. They're on their way. Right, don't fire at will anymore. We need to get them out now, so... You guys run over there. You guys run over there. And let's await their coming. I'm really disappointed Shahryar died. Well, I mean, I'm not actually that disappointed, because 3 generals is too much, really, and we'd have no need of them after this battle. So I suppose it's probably a fitting end, but... I'm disappointed in the manner in which he died.
They run like children. Scour them from the enemy must curse the day they were born.
14 men died.
Of this most wondrous triumph.
We lost less men against that Mordor army. But then they did have some archers, actually. And Woodland Hunters are fantastic archers. Despite being awful in melee, they are good archers. So you've always got to watch out for their bow fire. So I'm not surprised that we lost a few more there. But we only lost 14, and one of them was our general. Against bandits. Just, they don't have anything that would stop a horse. Like, they must have charged into a bandit, knocked the fellow over, and he probably didn't even have use of his limbs at the time, but managed to somehow, I don't know, let go of his sword in such a way that it flew up straight into Shahryar's head. It's the only thing I can imagine as the cause of this ridiculous outcome. Right, they rebelled, so we've got to kill them all, sadly. But, oh, we got some Ushisha Storm Riders. Nice. Shahryar is dead. Tolui is respected. All...
Yes. Your enemies shall
That's changed. We don't have any infantry again, do we now?
sieging the walls.
Pathetic garrison.
How may I serve?
Ah, and then they will actually get there probably just as we capture it. That's nice. And you guys have arrived in Mordor just as Mordor foolishly have taken most of their army out and will make an easy victory there. Oh, the Ardenaim are going for Finabel, and they've got a large garrison in Eifel. Yes, we'll meet them.
shall escape us. To battle.
We'll meet them head on in a all-out battle and war.
How may I serve? We march.
Their
We
death.
rest here until
Our death will be magnificent. You fellas, have you returned? Yes, you are being retrained. Kiselcombe, yes, it's building its mines. Our money will grow. Once Dodici and Imlet Khanan are in our hands, we shall see our money expand dramatically. The garrison of Finabel, I believe, is strong enough to hold against probably the Ardenaim force. Particularly with Palander the Honourable and his ability to put... Oh, they don't have cavalry though, do they? Oh, damn.
Then your lives.
Damn. Anyway, that is where I'm going to end this first episode. So thank you very much for watching. If indeed you have, I do hope you've enjoyed it as much as me. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navar na den Pedimad Melunin, and farewell.